Welcome back to WonderFest 2018, the annual sci-fi, fantasy, and horror modeling show in Louisville. In our first episode, we roamed the tables and introduced you to a number of top modelers. Up now is a deeper dive into the sci-fi world of space vehicles, from Star Wars to, well, just about any vehicle you've seen in a sci-fi movie in the last 50 years or more. Plus, there are models of Dracula and creatures from the spooky black and white films we watched as kids, up to the frightening goblins and ghouls of more recent scare fests. Have you seen Stranger Things on Netflix? Well, even an 11 figure was spotted at this year's show. There's more as always, but let's hear what a few more of the modelers at WonderFest brought this year and how they finished their models. Here's Sean Stewart from Oakley, California.
Well, I have a machining Krieger, 1/20th from Wave, that I actually got from a very good friend in Japan, Darren Bloomfield. I've done him up in a Night Fighter camo, nice and dark. Decided to depict actually a Radio Man in the future. And I figured with a really long antenna whip, who could actually say no to putting a jack-in-the-box antenna ball on the top? Make it yours, do it the way you want. The pilot inside was actually done with artist oils, thanks to our local club IPMS president, who's a fantastic figure modeler, helped me out with that. So this one took me probably about 70 hours total. Hardest part was the canopy, believe it or not, getting that to be completely clear. That was 4 or 5 trips through the future dip tank.
And Matt Morozic of Plano, Texas.
So this year I made the transition from mechs to quarter scale statues. So I've got a quarter scale Hulk, a quarter scale Thor, a quarter scale Captain America, a Hellboy, a Spider-Man, and this Robin, and I have one little Christmas ornament. So this was a little project I decided to try to knock out in between some commission jobs. I wanted to do something for myself for once. And this was a relatively simple kit. It's made by a company called Salt and Pepper. The sculptor is Avi Yeh, A-V-I-Y-A is how he spells his name. And I wanted to do something a little different from the other ones I've seen, which the other ones I've seen, the red on the suit is a more muted, almost orange red. It's kind of a semi-gloss or a matte finish. The one thing that sets this apart from the other ones is the red portion of the suit. And the way I achieved that is I started out with a layer of gloss black from Mr. Color. I use a lot of Mr. Color paints, lacquers. My favorite line of theirs is the GX line of paints. They're very highly pigmented. They cover well, they dry very smooth. So I started with that, and then the first layer of red was the Mr. Color GX metallic red, which is actually a very pale metallic red. When you put it on there, it almost looks kind of pink. So from there, I used the Mr. Color GX clear deep red, and I went in and started building up my shadow tones. Kind of got that where I wanted. And then once I was happy with the shadows, I just backed up and kind of misted that deep clear red over the entire piece to kind of bring that pink red more to a vibrant red. And that also helped bring the shadows up a little more. By the time I was done with that, I wasn't really happy with the red. It was a little too dark, so I wanted a little more pop. So I just used Mr. Color, their regular clear red, and it's almost like a fire engine clear red. It's really bright. And I just kind of misted that on and just shifted the color so it brightened it up a little bit more, give it a little more vibrance. And then what makes it so shiny is that it's an automotive 2K acrylic polyurethane clear coat. So in a former life, I used to paint cars. So shooting clear coat is easy for me. And everyone's like, how do you do the clear coat? It's like, it's automotive clear coat.
And lastly, Lou Del Maso of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Well, I saw there was a gentleman on the RPF, and he was offering this kit. And when I saw it, it tickled me so much that I just had to go ahead and get one. And it is Baby Groot in carbonite. It is an actual scale, 1-to-1. I did add I added the lighting into the sides, a series of fiber optics.
Yeah.
And then I had to find a proper way to display them, so I made this grotto out of some MDF and some textured rattle can paint. There are 2 ways you can present your victim in carbonite. You can either hang him or make a table out of him, and he's too small for a table, even a footstool. So I had decided to hang him. Yeah. And then this is out of the can texture paint that you can find at your local big box store. It has like sand or different colors of sand paint. And then over top of it, airbrushing in some shadows and shades and highlights and things like that. But I try to work as simply as I can. If I can find it in a hardware store, that's usually where I'll go first.
That's a wrap on WonderFest 2018. Remember, there's a WonderFest gallery on FineScale.com, plus more photos coming in the December issue, and even more in this fall's special issue, Great War Scale Modeling, hitting the newsstands in mid-November. One final heads up, next year marks WonderFest's 30th anniversary, and we expect even more modelers and models to be on hand, so plan ahead. Here's hoping we see you there.
Hey, sucker!
Yeah.
Say me like everyone else does! Beautiful!